Last night was insane. We actually didn't make it to our Airbnb. We were so stressed out, we were so tired that we started to panic and we didn't have a lot of options. We tried to connect to their RV charger. Unfortunately, our NEMA plug didn't fit. That could be very scary when you are low on battery and you have no cell reception. Like literally a miracle. Like it's insane. We didn't even know these people. We never met them personally. So I'm definitely planning to take more road trips, even though that kind of traumatic situation happened to me. Okay, it's 9. We're supposed to leave at 9, but we're still eating breakfast, so we're gonna be a little late today, but the hope is to leave by 9:30. It's currently 9:55 and we're still not on the road. We're pretty much packed. Just Tony's checking if we didn't forget anything, and I'm officially exhausted. Tony's grabbing coffee and I'm looking at the better route planner, and it says we're gonna get there in 11 hours. So yeah, we have 5 charging steps for an hour and 16 minutes in total. Yeah, and it's gonna be 10 hours and 43 minutes, which probably gonna be a little more. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know, yesterday I had a lot more energy in the morning and then just like dropped. So yeah, it's not great and I didn't sleep enough, so hopefully that coffee he's grabbing us will help. But yeah, it's gonna be a long, hot, sunny day. But considering that we did that, like, you know, long road trip in a smaller car last time and we were driving from LA to Flagstaff, that was also, I mean, I guess it wasn't as long, but it was mostly at night because it was in winter and we left I think around 1 p.m. or 2 p.m. so it was much later. It's currently 10:20 almost, so don't cheek. How are you feeling? Okay, it's 12:02. We got to Henrietta, and I think we got here with like 58% of battery. It was estimating it would be 57, and it's charging very, very quickly at 95 kilowatts, and it's currently at 61, so not too bad. Tony went to use the restroom, and I'm gonna also go as soon as he's gonna come back, because you can see that little guy behind me, just can't calm down. he went to sleep for a little bit, but now he's back to being his crazy self, crying and just like being so such a little brat. What's going on? We're gonna charge here for, it says another 10 minutes. Better Route Planner was saying that we should just charge here for 7 minutes. So yeah, I mean, basically I see Tony's coming back, so I'm gonna go to the restroom, and probably as soon as I'm gonna come back we can go. So it's a nice pit stop. We don't really feel like, you know, it's taking too much.
With a garage, hopefully we can charge in. It'd be really nice. And then tomorrow we're gonna drive to Palm Springs, and Saturday we're gonna check in late at our Airbnb in Los Angeles because we're gonna be there for just over a month. There's my wife recording everything as usual.
What do you think of the drive?
It's been fine so far. We're just stopping to charge here. We can actually continue. It says we're good. So
you know, yeah, we should probably get going.
We're at 80% battery here. I think we're good to go. So I'm gonna unplug and we're gonna get back on the road because we got a lot of driving to do still.
When we were leaving home, I believe we had like 100% of battery, maybe 99. And then we stopped at the coffee shop, and when we left, we had 98%. And so yeah, we used a bit of battery. But we were driving pretty fast, and that's why our efficiency wasn't that great. I think we're good to go. We definitely stopped for longer than we originally planned.
It's actually pretty nice right now. We drove in winter. This was all dead, sad.
Yeah, it's very green. Yeah, the only thing is that it's much hotter. It's 97 degrees outside, so we gotta use the AC, and I feel like it's really draining the battery a lot more, but I guess
have a larger battery pack than we did last time, so
true.
We'll probably just end up making the same number of stops.
Exactly, and not to mention we had the older Model 3 without heat pump, so technically in winter it was even like less efficient than this car in summer.
Well, it's not that it's efficient, right? It's that the cold weather affects the battery capacity.
Yeah, what I mean is the efficiency on the car, like, you know, how many kilowatts it uses for.
Sure, yeah, you're using less electricity because the cold reduces the I guess it is efficiency. I don't know. I wanna look that up and understand why does cold weather cause batteries to have less capacity? Is it actually the electricity's disappearing, or is it just
we are heating up the car, like we were trying, you know, to warm up here.
Well, yeah, but heating up the car doesn't heat up the batteries.
No, I'm talking about the inside of the car. I'm not talking about the battery.
Oh, I see. Your point was that because we used heat coming here, using air conditioning going back is probably the same amount of strain on the car.
Yeah.
Yeah, because we don't have to worry about the temperature sapping the battery anymore.
Yeah, but
But it's too hot for it anyhow. It doesn't matter.
Yeah, but what we've noticed is that this car charges a lot faster at like, you know, 50 what? It was 58%, and it charged to 81.
Something like that.
Or 80,
in
yes.
Like 15 minutes.
Yeah, super quick.
Well, because the capacity is a lot larger, that means that it can charge faster at what before would be approaching the capacity of the smaller battery pack we had in the Model 3.
Yeah,
so for that reason, most of our charging stops are going to be shorter. They're also going to be shorter because it seems like Tesla's waypoint navigation for supercharging has been optimized closer to a better route planner, where they optimize more for you to arrive with lower battery percentage so that you charge faster.
Yeah, we actually just got that software update a few days ago.
Well, yeah.
At least the one where they pointed out, oh, we optimized the
well, their optimizations are for altitude change, wind, terrain, stuff that they didn't account for before.
Yes.
They did account, I think, for certain things before, but not like a better route planner definitely was the better choice when we were coming to Dallas. But, you know, we've seen some other videos of YouTubers talking about that Tesla's almost mirrors a better route planner. And we've been checking, obviously the first stop was the same because we just can't make it all the way to Childress on one charge. So, I mean, maybe you could if you were really going slow speed and it was ideal conditions.
Well, it was showing that we would arrive with -3%.
Yeah, you would have need to go 55 miles an hour the whole way to make it, I think. And that's just not worth it at that point. It's worth driving faster and charging more often.
Yeah, so far very comfortable, and I'm really enjoying having like a lot more room.
Dude,
and sitting up higher.
Yes.
For like long drives, it's like a lot less tiring.
Because the Model 3 was a small car, and especially there's a lot of trucks that take this very route that we're taking between Texas and California.
It's scary sometimes.
And having a taller car definitely makes us feel safer, but at the same time, it's a more pleasant drive.
Yeah.
Even the dog seems a little more chill out. He's trying to get under the thing.
Yeah, pretty bad efficiency, but you know.
Driving over 80, you know.
I know. It's just interesting that, you know, this whole time it was 275 and all of a sudden it's 400 because of higher speeds. And I guess maybe the luggage, but
yeah, for sure the luggage. We've probably got about an extra 300 or 400 pounds of luggage with us. Man, this place is a ghost town. All these buildings are abandoned.
Why is that?
Because there's no way to make money here except for people driving through.
We arrived in Childress. We're charging. There was actually a lot of Teslas here when we got here, so we had to park next to another Tesla. But fortunately, four cars left at the same time. I wonder if they're driving together, but they didn't talk to each other. So interesting. I guess it just happened that they decided to leave at the same time. So we moved. So yeah, now we are getting 130 kilowatts. But because there are 2 other cars parked, yeah, it's supposed to be 150, but it's fine. At least it's much faster than before. I think we're charging at like 90 kilowatts, so it's better. We have to charge until 66%. When we got here was 19%. Very nice.
Let's give him some water, maybe.
Yeah, good idea. But it's hot. It's changing again to my profile. I don't get it.
Every time I get in.
Yeah.
Oh, that's Julia with the hairy legs.
Look at that guy on the
Yeah.
lawnmower. So there was no shade here. I gotta say, like, it gets hot. It gets hot. So whenever there are like any superchargers with shade or under trees, like, it's much better. You don't have to cool down the car as much. So I feel like it's charging technically faster because the electricity is not going to cool down the car. So I love those supercharging stops where they have roofs with like solar panels on top. Not only they get the electricity from the sun, so it's nice, but also it gives you shade, so it's great. But so far I don't think there are any on our drive to Albuquerque. I only saw them mostly in California, so that's unfortunate. But yeah, I wish they would make more of those, or even, like, you know, put some like trees around you know, those stops, because like the difference is incredible. Yeah, it's currently charging at 99 kilowatts. Yeah, 98, 99, and it's because it's currently at 53%, so it was much faster when it was, you know, the battery wasn't as charged. Like, we can continue the trip. We're gonna arrive with 14%. Technically, we're supposed to leave when we charge to 66%, so we're just getting a little extra.
Yeah, we should also figure out where we're gonna stop to eat, because we'll need to do that before we charge.
Chick-fil-A.
Oh, I see. There was one in Wichita Falls.
Uh-oh. We weren't hungry back then. cool thing is that since the last time we were road tripping in a Tesla, they added waypoints, so we can add a stop at the Chick-fil-A and get some bite and still have our charging stops. It's 5 p.m. now. We are in Amarillo supercharging. This supercharger is actually like pretty full. There are cars on both ways, on both sides of us, so we are just getting 62, but we were getting like 130 kilowatts, so before everyone got here. Yeah, basically there are a few cars that are like, I guess, going the same direction, so they keep catching up to us and then taking supercharger spots next to us, but it's fine. Yeah, so it's definitely like since 2 p.m. and now it's like so hot. The sun is super intense, so we're running AC and it's very tiring. So that's like, you know, the hardest part of the drive. Hopefully in like an hour, maybe 2, it's gonna be a little nicer. We're gonna switch now. I'm gonna be driving. So yeah. Oh, we got Chick-fil-A. It was amazing. I think that was the first time I had it. Yeah, we had it once at the airport, but I think I only got fries, and this time I got the chicken sandwich, and it was so good. Yeah, I was also starving because we didn't eat. I mean, we had a little breakfast, some eggs, but we didn't really have lunch, so yeah, it was. I'm glad we did that stop because I was falling asleep. I didn't get a good night's sleep, so yeah. Tortellino got his food. He's calm now, and yeah, it's gonna be a long stretch of road from Amarillo to Santa Rosa, and it's gonna be like 2.5 hours. Yeah, we're gonna get there at 7:30. He likes the grass.
Let's hope the pee.
Hopefully, it's so hot. Stopping in Santa Rosa for a little charge, and then we are off to Albuquerque. Hello! Hello! Nice breeze. Stretching our legs, getting tortellino to Oh my goodness! What do you think? What do you think of New Mexico? Nice break from
Texas.
humid, hot
Yeah.
air. No breeze. Tortellino! No Teslas, everything for us. All the electricity. Pop pop.
see as the sun's coming over the mountain. Look, it's turning red.
It's beautiful, yeah.
Yeah, okay, so they're making everyone get on the 40 here, which is good. Looks like a bunch of cars parked up here.
No crime. Here's the bathroom. 2 bedrooms. Kitchen and living room. And patio. And a master. Okay, we are at Starbucks picking up some breakfast. We're gonna also grab some coffee and then we're gonna head to Gallup. It's currently 8:35 and I'm gonna chat more at the next supercharging step. Last night was insane. We actually didn't make it to our Airbnb. Okay, 19% to get to Gallup, and then okay, don't look at this efficiency. I just took off from supercharger, but yeah, decided to get my favorite jasmine tea instead of coffee today. Have my straw. We're taking a step right now. This is what it looks like.
Of the desert.
Is that right?
Yeah, animals that survive in the desert have adapted to be able to pluck water in nature.
Charge for so long?
No, I think we're probably good to go.
Are you happy, Torch? You got some food? He's mad at us that we gave him so late. Look at his face. He's like, I'm not looking at you.
Look at how inaccurate the numbers. Yeah, this is the first time we've been back in California for over a year. It's been like a year and a half. Yeah, it feels kind of surreal being back here. I don't think I've actually ever been in this part of California before, in between Phoenix and Palm Springs, but it definitely feels like California, you know?
Very nice. Love it. Wow. Hello. Your cheek. Well, turn around. Ay, ay, ay. Oh, he's so cute, huh? He's kicking me. Flying your cheek. Oh, how do you like it, huh? Okay, and now I'm gonna give you a little hotel room tour. We are in Hotel Paseo in Palm Desert. Here's the entry. We are on the third floor. They upgraded our room. Here is the bathroom. It's really cute, actually. Here's the shower. Very nice vanity, big mirror. Very, very nice. Plenty of room. We keep our dog's ball here because he is a little messy. And here is, there's also a little closet here. So if you're staying longer, you can, you know, get comfortable. Oh, I was looking for this for my suitcase, but it's fine. Even we got some robes, but we didn't use it. And here's our bed, nightstands. There's balcony, even a little nice big TV. And oh my god, we brought a pizza bag. We were keeping like cold drinks in this during our drive, and then we took them out when we got here, and we put pizza in it last night because we were so hungry. Everything was closed already, so we just got pizza at the local Italian restaurant. And yeah, it's a little messy because, you know, we already stayed in that, and we're gonna be actually packing soon because it's just for one night. I thought this would work. We got the Arlo camera for our pup. We just had one laying around the house, but the Wi-Fi router is too far from here and didn't connect when we went to get lunch. We wanted to make sure that Tortellini won't bark. this little guy right there because he's a little bossy. But fortunately, he didn't because we had this collar that vibrates. It's not a shock collar. It distracts him whenever he starts barking. Actually works amazing if you have a dog that barks. This helped us train Tortellino not to bark when we are out. So yeah, it's this one I got on Amazon. We had a similar one from Amazon, but it broke. This one so far has been working great, much better quality. So it has sound or it vibrates. You can choose in the app, but it doesn't shock. Yeah, so it's a little cheaper than the shock collars. And yeah, shock collars are a little extreme. The sound and vibration works much better on Tortellino. But this is the bed. We even got a little lounge chair here. And because we brought a pup with us, there was a high pet fee here. It's like 150, I think, per night for a dog. So so it's a little pricey, but they give you dog bed and they even have some dog bowls, but we had our own, so we didn't need it. But yeah, this is what it looks like. Oh, and we even got a little balcony, like pretty nice. The view on the mountains, and there is a little mall right there, so we actually went there to get breakfast this morning, and it was pretty nice. It's very walkable, this area. Okay, we are doing our last leg of the drive, and we actually don't need to supercharge. We are going straight from Palm Desert to LA. It's pretty awesome. Okay, I realized that I didn't talk about what happened in New Mexico, and I also want to share like what we've learned from this road trip, because that was definitely one of the hardest road trips that we've done when it comes to all the experiences. That's for sure, because we actually did pretty much the same road trip. I mean, not the same because we are going from California to Texas, but so it was the same distance in a smaller car with a smaller battery. Yeah, this was crazy what happened on this road trip. I don't want to take too much time to talk about it, but what happened is when we left Santa Rosa, we actually, that was one of the longest legs of this trip. It was over 2 hours. Usually we would drive for an hour and a half, and then stop at the supercharger. So on that road there was no other superchargers, a part of the Santa Fe supercharger, but it was out of the way. It was an hour away from where we were when we got stuck. Basically, I think we were like 40 minutes to an hour away from Albuquerque when we saw signs that I-40 is closed and there's a fire. We had no idea. Because when we were still in Santa Rosa, everything was fine. I think Tony was actually checking like all the information, and he didn't see anything, any issues. But when we were driving, then all that happened. The fire started, and we had no idea. So first tip is to constantly check all the information if you can. If you have a radio, like local radio stations, like maybe check on them, from time to time, because we literally just relied on those, road signs, and we literally, the one that we saw like was so close to the fire that like we had to get off the freeway right that second when we saw the sign, and we were like, we have to find another way. So we had 19% of battery left at that time. The plan was to get to Albuquerque and charge there. We were still kind of far away from Albuquerque, and we had to take mountain roads to basically like drive around the fire. That was the plan when we checked the information at that time. Like some roads were still open, so we were like, okay, we're just gonna drive around, and we're gonna get to the entrance that basically will allow us to get on I-40. Unfortunately, after all the driving, we got stuck in the traffic. They closed that entrance as well. So literally, like, all of our options just they were gone. We didn't expect that the fire would spread so quickly, and unfortunately, it was too late to even go to Santa Fe, because when we stopped, when we saw the first sign, the road sign about the fire, we stopped and we checked all of our options. We couldn't get back to Santa Rosa, it was too far. Our only option was to get to Albuquerque or get to Santa Fe, which was out of the way. It was an hour away, different direction, so we would have to drive there, then we would have to charge for 20 to 30 minutes, and then we would have to go back to Albuquerque. That would add probably, around 3 hours to our trip, and at this time we were insanely exhausted. We were already driving for over 11 hours, and I didn't sleep that night very well. I was like already very tired at the beginning of our trip. Antonio was obviously tired too, so like we were both so exhausted. So that's a tip too. Don't plan to drive for 11 to 12 hours in an electric car. In a gas car, you can always just, pull up to a gas station, pump up some gas, and then you can, drive to a motel or hotel and just stay there. Well, the thing with electric vehicles is that you get a plan. And sometimes unexpected things will happen, like fire, and it will change our plans. Like, we were so tired, like it was even hard for us to like think clearly what to do. Like, we were panicking at that time. We were so stressed out, we were so tired that we started to panic, and we didn't have a lot of options. So because we drove the mountain road kind of all around, we had even less battery left than originally. And we were stuck in the traffic. All the roads were closed. We didn't have a lot of options. It was kind of in the middle of nowhere. Like, there were no hotels, there were no like shops and stuff. It was kind of out of the way, and we didn't even have data anymore because it was in the mountains, so we couldn't even access internet at the time. Fortunately, we still have cell reception. Check where are like those blind spots basically on your road trip, and basically be prepared for that, because that could be very scary when you are low on battery and you have no cell reception. Fortunately, we were able to call our Airbnb host, and that's kind of like, we got insanely lucky because they knew someone literally a mile away, someone who just had a random house there in the mountains, and they said like they have RV chargers, so you can go and charge there. Like, literally a miracle. Like, it's insane. We didn't even know these people, we never met them personally. We just booked an Airbnb, and it's insane that first of all, like, those people are very responsive. Sometimes you get hosts that are not very responsive. Those people are just so kind, so responsive. They basically let us go to their friend's house in the middle of nowhere. Yeah, we drove there. We tried to connect to their RV charger. Unfortunately, our NEMA plug didn't fit. They also had the NEMA RV charger, but it was kind of different, so it didn't fit. We couldn't charge there. And that's another tip for you guys. Buy an adapter. We just got that. We just bought it on Amazon. It's good to have because, yes, you can charge from a regular outlet, but it takes forever. It takes forever to charge. And because our plug didn't fit their RV charger, they offered us to charge our car from their garage outlet, which was amazing. Like, we were so grateful that they just, let us use their electricity and just stay on their property. But when we first plugged it into their outlet, it didn't charge. It took like 20 minutes to kick in. And maybe because it was an older house, older outlet, maybe because of that, it just took a while. We finally started to charge, but it was very slow, less than 5 miles an hour. So we're there for a while, and I think around 11 p.m. we're so tired already, and the owner, amazing person, amazing, so kind, he was like, you guys can stay a night, like, it's fine, let your car charge, and be my guest. He didn't even want to get paid. Like, he didn't want anything. I was just so grateful. Like, he saved us. Like, I don't know, like, we didn't have a lot of options because it was in the middle of the night, in the middle of nowhere. So we would have to wait for a tow truck a few hours probably. And like, or we could like sleep in our car, wait for the road to open, but probably at the time, like, our car would be dead, like fully dead. So we didn't have a lot of options. And unfortunately, that's another tip. Prepare a list. If something happens, if you get a flat, call this number, do this. If you're low on battery, do this. Like, basically make a list, make like, I don't know, notes in your phone, but also print it out, because if your phone dies, you just lose access to that. And our phones actually were like kind of low on battery at that time. So yeah, just print a list, like what to do in that situation. If you're a high anxiety person, I feel like that would also like help you a little bit, because obviously we did worry, we were scared. But if you have that list, if you are like kind of at least mentally prepared, like, okay, if that happens, we do this. It's good to make that list and have phone numbers, because if you lose access to your phone, you can at least maybe try to ask someone if you can borrow their phone to make a phone call, or ask them to call. It's just always good to be prepared for that. So anyhow, we got insanely lucky that we found those people. The situation would be much, much, much worse if we just didn't do that. If we would book a different Airbnb, and the host wouldn't be so responsive, and the host wouldn't know those people too, that were literally a mile away from us when we are stuck in the traffic. I'm insanely grateful for those people and for their help. Like, it was such a scary and stressful situation. So, in conclusion, first of all, plan your road trip so you don't drive for more than 9 to 10 hours. If you can, just make more stops, book some hotels on the way. Don't try to like maximize the driving time, because you never know. You may get very tired, you may get sick. And if you're driving an electric vehicle, you gotta be prepared, because it's a lot harder to find a charger than it is to find a gas station. And like, I mean, some of the gas stations have chargers now, but not the ones in the middle of nowhere. So don't count that like you're gonna be able to charge at a random gas station. Just don't count on that. Download some apps that like show you chargers that you can find on the way. Just keep in mind that if you are driving like in the middle of America, like, you may not find any chargers. So that's why I'm giving you the second tip, which is to get an adapter for RV charger, because in those places in the middle of nowhere, sometimes they do have those parking lots for RVs, and they have RV chargers. And those, I think they do charge, like, you can charge up like 20 to 30 miles an hour, which is a lot faster than 5 miles an hour from a regular outlet. So definitely get that plug. I'm gonna link the one that I got below. Make sure that it works too. If you have the option, like, before you go on the road trip, just make sure that the adapter works. But third tip is to make a list. Make a list of phone numbers that you will need. Make a list of like what to do in case if you get a flat, if you're low on battery and you are kind of far from all the superchargers. Like, be prepared basically. And for me, making lists, it's the best. Like, I always love to make lists, because there's no way I'm gonna remember all the phone numbers and all the other things that I have to do in a stressful situation. Like, you are not thinking clearly when you are panicking, when you are tired. So make a list. You're gonna be thanking me. So I would say these are the most important tips. I'm definitely gonna be taking road trips in my Tesla again. Like, the comfort level of the drive is very high. It is. Like, it was very comfortable to drive in a Tesla. You get the autopilot. Model Y is also very spacious. You sit up high, so it was very comfortable. Not gonna lie, like, it was definitely more comfortable than any other road trip that I took. So I'm definitely planning to take more road trips, even though that kind of traumatic situation happened to me. But those experiences teach me something every time. And I'm definitely feel like I'm gonna be a lot more prepared for the next road trip. So these are my tips. These are the lessons that I learned. If you have any other tips, please leave them down below. And if you have any questions also, don't forget to leave them down below, and I will see you next one. Bye bye.